Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Sandra and I make videos all about cybersecurity as well as career topics. And in today's video, we'll be discussing all things free cybersecurity resources. So I know a lot of you guys on the channel are beginners in cybersecurity or are just starting to consider a career in cybersecurity as your next move, or maybe you're still in school or in a bootcamp. So I really wanted to make this video as an add-on to my previous video on how to get started in cybersecurity in 2022. And I can definitely link that video down below if you guys want to check that out after this one. But this one is really going to go into more depth about the actual resources that you can find online for free. And let's get into it. Alright, so first I wanted to start out with free cybersecurity training / certifications online. So if you look this up on Google, there's definitely a lot of ads that come up for free trials of different cybersecurity courses, but there's actually also open source cybersecurity courses that you can find online that don't need a free trial or for you to enter your credit card information anywhere. And there's a few of them that I want to touch on, but the first one is the SANS Cyber Aces. And SANS is one of the biggest cybersecurity organizations for training and certifications, so it's definitely very well respected in the cyberspace. And they have these free video tutorials and resources on everything from operating systems to networking to system administration, as well as Python scripting. So it's really a good tutorial to walk through, especially because it's free. And once you complete it, it would be a great add to your resume, even though, you know, it's not an official certification. It's still something to show to employers on your resume that you're trying to get that experience and that background knowledge in cybersecurity to get your foot in the door for an entry-level role. The second platform I wanted to talk about is Cybrary. And they basically have free beginner level cybersecurity courses, and you can basically choose from guided career paths to actual individual courses that you want to take. But for the Cybrary platform, I believe they also have paid for courses as well. But if you create your free account, you can still access the free materials that are on there that give you more beginner and intermediate level experience. The third resource is on SimpliLearn, and I think that they're a pretty popular, and they're also a pretty popular platform for different online courses, but they have a course for Introduction to Cybersecurity, and it's a 3-hour long course that is completely free and you watch at your own pace. So it's definitely a great place to start, and they give you a certification of completion after you complete the course, so that's pretty cool. Again, even though it's not an official certification, it's still something on your resume that shows that you're dedicated to this. And the last one I wanted to mention today is Open Security Training. So they are a completely free open source, basically training platform for cybersecurity. And on their website, they have everything from Android forensics to intrusion detection to hacking techniques, trusted computing, secure coding. So they have a lot of different topics that are very broad. And even as someone who is already in their career, I would find a lot of these courses useful just because they're so broad, and they're honestly topics that wouldn't come up in just one person's job because they cover so many different topics in cybersecurity. So it's definitely going to be a fun one if you're someone who already knows the basics but wants to learn more in depth about different areas. And of course, I'll link all these resources below in the description if you guys want to check them out. Alright, the next topic is my favorite, and it is free hacking experience that you can get online. And for these, I've mentioned in my previous videos on how to get free experience. Especially as a pen tester, your skills are literally what so many companies are looking for right now, and websites like Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, free capture the flag challenges, as well as Cybrary events. There are so many free hands-on resources out there specifically for pen testing and ethical hacking / red teaming that honestly it would probably take you years to complete everything if you're just starting from scratch as a beginner. So if you're really just starting out, I would start out with Hack the Box just because I feel like they're slightly more beginner friendly, and they're also very popular. So all of their problems also have walkthroughs that people have posted online from them completing it. So I would definitely read those walkthroughs if you're a beginner to try to understand what other people are doing and how to go about thinking about hacking problems. And then for Try Hack Me, I believe you only get like an hour or 2 hours a day free on their machines unless you pay some subscription. So that's the thing I didn't like that much about Try Hack Me, especially as a beginner. I was on there for like hours, and I ended up just like making multiple different accounts because just to work on the same problem because I kept running out of time. But of course it resets every day, so if you want to take it slow you can, but that's definitely just one annoying thing about Try Hack Me. But their hacking problems are also very cool. For example, I did the Pickle Rick Try Hack Me challenge, and that one was pretty fun because they tie it back to, you know, Rick and Morty. It's just a lot more pop culture fun kind of challenges. And then there's things like Capture the Flags and Cyber Ranges. So both these can be pretty similar. Some of them may be time limited. So maybe there's a Capture the Flag that only happens for about a month or 2 months, and you have to capture all the flags in that time period just to make sure that people are actually doing it and not just waiting and waiting since there's no deadline. But there's also capture the flags that never expire. For example, the SANS holiday hack, another really cool thing that they have. They have so many free resources, but SANS also has multiple paid for cyber range events. So those are definitely an option too if you finish their capture the flag, but their capture the flags are a lot more real world scenarios For example, they bring in different technologies like AWS, different web stacks, as well as different tools that you need to use to complete their capture the flag challenges. But of course, you should definitely check out the guides as a beginner, because if you're just getting started in pen testing, then you really won't know where to start with a lot of these problems, which was definitely me in the beginning as well. And by the way, if you guys didn't already know, capture the flags was really the way that I got started in pen testing and how I got my first job as a pen tester. And I can link the video below on how I learned how to hack using capture the flags. And pen testing is really one of those things where you have to put in that time and the hours, the blood, sweat, and tears until basically learning the different tools and eventually coming up with your own system that works for you. Whenever you have to approach a new problem or hack into some website or system, there's like certain steps that you know that you should do when it comes to different problems that you'll see. So it all comes with experience, but I do think that these are great places to start. And of course, YouTube is your best friend, whether it be free tutorials. Like the tutorials I mentioned earlier in this video are probably just as good as the ones that you can find on YouTube. There's so many creators that put up 10-hour tutorials on YouTube for free for anyone to watch, and you can learn from so many different people that have already been in ethical hacking, red teaming, digital forensics, malware analysis. There's just so much information out there that you can just get for free. Now, I'm not saying that paid courses are horrible and they don't help anyone, but I do think that you should take advantage of free tutorials and courses and everything like that. And then if you run out of things to learn, then you can go to the paid courses and tutorials, and you'll be able to expand your knowledge even more from there. But as a complete beginner, you probably don't need to pay for an entry-level cybersecurity course, just because there's so many free courses out there that cover the same thing. All right, so the next thing I wanted to cover is MOOCs, or massive open online courses. So as the name suggests, they are basically open source courses that anyone can enroll in, and they have a bunch of different topics that aren't just cybersecurity. They have everything from business management to accounting to technology to chemistry. So there's a lot of different options on MOOC.org. It's a great learning platform. And they also have a bunch of free courses on learning how to code. So if you're someone who is coming into cybersecurity and you want to be a security engineer, or you want to be in malware analysis, or you want to do scripting in a security DevOps role, there's so many options for you and so many doors that open for you if you do learn how to code. And I'm not saying that you have to, be an advanced developer or anything, but just learning some basic JavaScript, learning some Python, knowing the difference between front-end and back-end languages, that goes a long way, honestly, especially if you're someone in cybersecurity where you may not be in a role that makes you code every single day, but every once in a while you might want to create a script that helps you automate something, or you're doing a pen testing assessment and you want to write custom payloads for something. So, you never know when those coding skills will come in handy. And they also have courses on computing frameworks, everything from AWS and Azure to blockchain to pandas and React Native. There's really so many options out there. And I probably should have included MOOCs in the beginning of this video with the free cybersecurity resources, but it's just that they have so much more than just cybersecurity. And I think that it's such a good option for someone who is trying to learn so many different things, and maybe you're just looking for a new career. It could be in cybersecurity, or it could be in software engineering or data science or whatever else that you want to do. And one really cool thing about MOOCs is that they partner with big organizations and big schools. For example, schools like Stanford or Harvard could have a MOOC or free online course, and anyone can enroll into it, and especially to add on to your resume as you're applying to different roles. All right, so the next helpful resource that I wanted to talk about that I also mentioned briefly before is YouTube. So I know since you guys are on my channel watching this video, you may or may not have seen my other videos on different cybersecurity careers, how I got my first cybersecurity job, best coding languages for cybersecurity, best top skills and tools for cybersecurity, basically just general cybersecurity career and experience videos. And there are so many awesome YouTubers out there that speak specifically just about cybersecurity, and I can include screenshots of their channels if you guys want to check them out. Some of them go really in depth with actual tutorials using certain cybersecurity tools or understanding certain hacks, and some of them goes towards the general cybersecurity career advice and telling you about their experience working in different cybersecurity jobs. A great example of this is Josh. I know many of you guys on this channel also know Josh. He does both experience videos as well as tutorials, so his channel is definitely an awesome resource, and hopefully soon he'll come back from his hiatus. But yeah, basically when I'm trying to learn a new tool that I haven't used before, my first thing is literally either Googling it or looking up a tutorial on YouTube. So definitely always keep that in mind when you're learning something new. All right, so the last thing I wanted to touch on in this video is creating your own cybersecurity newsfeed. So I use a tool called Feedly, not sponsored, but it basically just funnels all of your RSS feeds into one place. So I'm able to read multiple different blogs, for example, Krebs on Security to the Rapid7 blog, all in one app on my phone. And it's just so convenient because I don't have to go to multiple websites to see the news, cybersecurity news, or different attacks that are happening. I can see it all in one place, and it's And it's just really nice to scroll through in the morning when you aren't Googling new cyber current events. But instead you kind of have this feed that is curated just for you based on articles that you want to read and blogs that you want to follow. And I can link a screenshot of the blogs that I do follow. I know there's a way to export your Feedly RSS feeds that you follow, and I know that one of you guys have actually asked me for my Feedly RSS feeds, but I don't know how to securely transfer that to you because it will be in a zip file that you'll have to download and basically import into your Feedly. And I'm not saying that I'm passing any viruses or anything, but I just want to make sure if I do that, it is in a secure way while it is being transferred to you guys. So if anyone else is interested in that, let me know, and I will try to find a way to securely provide it to you guys without it being in an insecure way. And the last thing to close out this video is that I do have cybersecurity career resources on my website, and these are definitely a lot more career focused rather than cybersecurity resources. For example, my cybersecurity resume, my cover letter template, my cybersecurity interview prep guide that I actually made for myself, as well as different cybersecurity career plans that carry a bunch of different information on the web into one consolidated document for you to review if you're someone who is interested in a specific cybersecurity role. And I also have a Patreon where I share cybersecurity resources as well as different behind the scenes sneak peeks to future videos, polls about future videos, and all that will be linked in the description box below. And a huge thanks to my current Patreons. I really appreciate you guys and all of your support. I know a lot of you guys have been here since day one. And one last thing is that you'll be seeing some big news from me in the upcoming future. I can't share it right now as during the time that I'm filming this video, but by the time this video comes out, everything may have already been finalized, and I do want to eventually share that information with you guys. But for now, it is a secret, but be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those future updates because I am so excited about it. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on post notifications. I post videos every Wednesday at 2 p.m. and Sundays at 12 p.m. and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!